Hey everyone, and welcome to another video. I am Simply G, and today I'm going to do my 10th day for 12 days of anime, and today I'm actually going to be showing off my anime collection. For those who are new to my channel, I generally do pickup videos twice a month, and then other various videos that are to do with anime or manga. Generally manga, but I do actually have a fairly large anime collection as well. And this year I'm actually going to be doing really short videos. Previously I've done really long ones, but today I think I'm just going to be showing off the shows themselves and not really mention any of my thoughts or anything like that. And if you aren't, again, familiar with my collection as a whole or my channel as a whole, my anime collection contains Australian releases, which are my local releases, US releases, which I think most people will be able to recognize, UK releases, and the odd Japanese release. So if there are certain things that you don't necessarily immediately recognize, that may be why. And also I have made like box sets and, you know, sort of done weird things with how I store certain shows or package certain shows as well. So I will tend to make a note of that in this video, but hopefully that won't be too confusing. So I'm just gonna get straight into it, guys, and I hope you guys enjoy. First we have this bunch of films, most of them being UK releases. Bluray Over the Wall, A Silent Voice, In the Corner of the World are all from the UK. Dokusei is the Aniplex release. Melody of the Heart is the Japanese release, although that does have English subtitles. And then the Japanese international release, and then the Kickstarter release of The Time of Eve OVAs and the movie. We have some DVD-sized releases here with This Boy Suffers from Crystallization and This Boy is a Professional Wizard, as well as Tabimachi Late Show, all of which are Japanese releases with English subtitles. Brave Story, which is the Australian release, which actually does have a dub to it. I don't believe that film was ever released in the US, only in the UK and Australia. We have Millennium Actress, which is another Australian release which has a dub compared to the US release, which is subtitled only. Toward the Terra, Interstellar 5555, The Story of the Secret Star System, Spring on Chaos, and then finally is Mind Game, which is the Blu-ray Kickstarter release for that film. Starting Blu-ray sized box sets, we actually get into the anime collection proper with Durara and the second season, both Japanese releases. The second season is only for the box. It actually holds Aniplex America releases. Aka is also a Japanese release and has subtitles. Skip Beat is the Kickstarter version. Space Brothers is actually a box I made myself and holds all 8 of the Sentai releases. Razafon and Garden of Sinners are again both Japanese releases, and the Recalled Out Summer OVA is from Aniplex America. Little Busters is yet again a box that I made, which contains both seasons plus the EX OVAs. And then we have the Australian release of Puella Magi Madoka Magica, both the show and the films. And although the film box was initially just for the first 2 films, I shuffled it around a little so it contains all 3 movies from the franchise. We have Gurren Lagann, which is the UK release for the show and movies, Death Note, which is the Viz release, and then the UK release of Ping Pong on Blu-ray. Next shelf we have the Funimation release of Terror and Resonance and Noragami Season 1 and 2, followed by the UK release of Hyoko, which collects the entire series, as well as Wolf's Rain, which is again the entire series on Blu-ray. Level E is another Funimation release, as is Princess Jellyfish and Shiki. Ouran High School Host Club is from the UK, and From the New World is an Australian release. Bakano, another UK release thanks to Anime Limited, and then 91 Days, Mob Psycho 100 are both US releases. My Love Story is yet again a UK release, this time from Animatsu. And we have another Australian release with Mawaru Penguindrum. And right next to that is actually a kind of steelbook release of Gankutsuo, the Count of Monte Cristo from the UK on Blu-ray. And right next to that is another box that I made, which contains all 3 parts of the Blu-ray for the 12 Kingdoms, previously or having been released by Media Blasters. Then we have Space Dandy, which contains both seasons in that box, Erica 7 and Erica 7 AO or AO, all 3 from Funimation. Moribito is another box that I put together to collect the Media Blasters Blu-rays of that show. And then we have the Funimation release of both Steins Gate and Robotics Notes, with the Japanese standard release of the film for Steins Gate. On this shelf we have all of my Fullmetal Alchemist collection. We have the Japanese limited edition DVD of the Conqueror of Shambhala movie, which is in that spot mainly because it is so much taller than the rest. But next to that are the UK releases of the original 2003 anime, as well as the Conqueror of Shambhala Blu-ray, which is in a self-fashioned box that I put together. Next to that is the Australian release of Brotherhood, which contains both the show, the OVAs, and the film, so all of that just in one box. And then we have more Funimation boxes with Michiko and Hatchin, Lupin the Third, a woman named Fujiko Mine, and then Yuri on Ice. Those 3 are put together because they are actually done by the same director, and so I grouped all of her works just next to each other. We also have the Tatami Galaxy and the Night is Short Walk On Girl, both UK releases, and again put together because they are sort of from the same universe, definitely the same creators and creative team. Then we have the first 2 seasons of Free, as well as the movie collection, all from Funimation / Crunchyroll. The UK release of Blood Blockade Battlefront, which is only the first season, and then Funimation's release of The Record of Lodos War, the TV and OVA series. Next to that is Viz's Sailor Moon Crystal releases, all 3 seasons, and then Madman, the Australian release of Sailor Moon, the first 4 seasons. Moving lower on the shelf we have standard Blu-rays, including Barakamon and Black Lagoon from Funimation, both the TV shows and the OVAs, Roberta's Blood Trail. Then we have the first 3 parts of Hunter x Hunter, the 2011 version plus the Phantom Rouge film. Kyosugiga, which is a discotheque release and one of my absolute favorite series. Nichijou and Samurai Champloo, Soul Eater, Yurikuma Arashi, and Yu Yu Hakusho, all of which were released by Funimation in some form or the other. Then we get into just standard no slipcover releases. Angel Beats from Sentai Filmworks, which is now out of print. Anohana, which is the standard Australian release, as is Black Butler Season 1, the Book of Circus / Season 3, and then the Book of Murder OVAs. Funimation's save release of Yamada's First Time. Then more Australian releases with the first season of Blue Exorcist and the film. Sentai's Blu-ray releases of Clannad and Clannad After Story. And next to that is a sort of self-made copy of Darker Than Black. It has the Funimation Blu-ray discs in there, and then a trimmed DVD cover for the actual case, because I really didn't like the packaging of the limited edition that Funimation put out, so I put all the discs into a standard case. Then we have the UK standard release of The Devil is a Part-Timer, another Australian release with Fate Stay Night, Unlimited Blade Works Part 1. Sentai releases with Ghost Hound, Hozoki's Cool-Headedness Season 1, and Humanity Has Declined. The Australian complete collection of Jormungand, which is both seasons. More Sentai with Kids on the Slope, Mysterious Girlfriend X, both shows that I really, really love. And then the Australian standard releases for My Hero Academia Season 1 and 2. We have number 6, which is a Sentai release, and on Blu-ray, if you are wanting this show, pick it up now because it is going out of print very, very soon, and I do believe it's still on sale at Sentai's store if you're in the US, and you can get a copy for like $10. It's a really, really good opportunity to pick it up now whilst you still can. And next to that is Psychic Detective Yakumo. We have the Bandai Blu-rays of Star Driver, and then Sunday Without God, Taisho Baseball Girls, Tamako Market, and the film Tamako Love Story, all from Sentai. Another standard Australian release with Toradora, which has the dub and subtitles. Tono-kon, another Sentai release, and then Surutama, again from Australia, the company Hanabi. And then we have Uta no Prince Summer Season 1 and 2, Ungo, The World is Still Beautiful, and Zammed Lost Memories, all from Sentai. This shelf is generally DVDs or DVD size packaging. We have the original 1999 version of Hunter x Hunter, and next to that is the Australian Blu-ray release of Tiger and Bunny, the complete series there. We also have the Australian DVD release of House of Five Leaves, the Funimation release of Nerima Daikon Brothers, and then the Australian release of Welcome to Irabu's Office, which is also known as Trapeze. That's, I believe, the Japanese name, and one of the few shows that Australia has had released that hasn't been released anywhere else in at least the English-speaking world. Then we have Holic, another Funimation release, as is Yu Yu Hakusho, the movie, and Eizo Hakusho OVAs. And more Sentai DVD or Sentai releases with the DVD set of Kwasei in a Foreign Labyrinth. We have Ghost Hunt, which is the Save edition, and Ghost Stories, which, although it says 5 on the spine, is actually the collected 5 singles just in one disc, case. We have Lovely Complex, the complete series from Discotek, Night Raid 1931, another Sentai release which is also out of print. We have Nodame Cantabile from Australia, Siren Visual here, and we have the Australian release of Paranoia Agent, the Bandai complete collection of Planetas, and then the Nozomi or US release of Ristorante Paradiso, Silver Spoon Season 1 and 2 from Aniplex of America, the entire set of Toward the Terra. Again, this is where I have pushed all of the singles into multi-disc cases. So we have the first 3 discs in Volume 1, and then the second half, the last 3 discs in Volume 2. But it is the entire series. Then we have the Holic and Tsubasa movie collection. The first 3 volumes of Fantastic Children, which is how much I've actually watched of this show. And then set 4 of Kakaishi, which is something I found sort of amazingly and unexpectedly, so I decided to get it whilst I had found such a good deal. We also have the second half of Fantastic Children, Volume 4 to 6, a really, really great series from Bandai that I feel is never going to be relicensed because it's definitely not that popular, and it's one that a lot of people haven't really heard of. We also have the complete Nana collection from 1 to 4, Blast of Tempest, Honey and Clover, and X. All of those are Australian releases aside from Fantastic Children. And then we also have the Kickstarter standard edition of Writing Bean. All of the ones on their side like this are shows that I haven't finished watching or haven't started watching. So yeah, I have a little bit to get through. Down the bottom of this shelf we have all of the odd-shaped NIS America releases that I own. Bunny Drop, Daily Lives of High School Boys, both seasons of Kimi Toroke, all 4 seasons of Natsume's Book of Friends, and then both parts of Umineko. I used to own more. I've owned various different NIS releases in the past, but these are definitely my favorite and the ones that I did want to keep these larger box sets for compared to their more I guess, comfortable or easy to store standard editions. At the very top here we also have the Utena limited edition or ultimate edition box set, which contains the entire show on Blu-ray. Here's the beginning of the Ghibli collection, all of their films from Nausicaä to My Neighbors the Yamadas. The only films we need for this part are Totoro, which is obviously one that I think most people have seen and know, as well as Pompoko. The second half of the Ghibli collection here with their more modern films, Spirited Away all the way until When Marnie Was There. I believe the only one from this era we need is The Cat Returns. Starting on this shelf we have the DVD-sized box sets with Antique Bakery, Big Wind Up, which is another box that I made, which contains both seasons of the anime, Chihaya Furu, The Eccentric Family, Monster, which is an Australian release, Kino's Journey, and then this box right here is actually for Mushishi. It has the first season from the US and then the second season from Australia, and the box itself is from one of the Japanese releases. Then we have Neon Genesis Evangelion, the show and the films, the Library Wars Wings of Revolution Blu-ray set from Japan, Monthly Girls Nozaki-kun Mononoke, which is another box that I made, which contains both the show Mononoke and the 3-episode OVA, or 3 episodes from Samurai Horror Tales or horror stories that actually started the Mononoke idea or franchise. We have the 2 Rose of Versailles DVD box sets, My Little Monster on Blu-ray and I believe also DVD, both seasons of Spice and Wolf, and then the Last Exile DVD box set. Another box that I made with Gothic, which contains both halves of the Australian DVD release, although I may be upgrading to the US Blu-rays sometime in the future. We also have the Genshiken box, which is the box for the first season singles, but actually holds both the original 2 seasons and the OVA. And then we have the Genshiken second generation box as well. Hellgirl is a similar idea to Genshiken, where although it's the box for the singles, it actually contains the 3 seasons, the first one released by Funimation and the following 2 by Sentai. And then we have the complete Ranma 1/2 Blu-ray collection. Finally, for this video, this anime collection, we started with movies, we're going to end with movies. We have the UK release of Your Name, as well as The Place Promised in Our Early Days and Voices of a Distant Star. We have the 3 Rebuild Evangelion films, the 2 Tiger and Bunny films, and then Akira, the 3 Berserk films, The Boy and the Beast, Wolf Children, and then some of Discotheque's film releases with Barefoot Gen, both movies, Night on the Galactic Railroad, the second Urusei Yatsura film, Beautiful Dreamer, and then we have Mary and the Witch's Flower, the Japanese releases of 5 centimeters per second plus Your Name, both of which have subtitles. I think the 5 centimeters per second also has a dub on it. And Children Who Chase Lost Voices, which is the standard Australian release, as is Blood, the Last Vampire. We have Colorful, which is a Sentai release, and then the Australian release of The Disappearance of Haruhi Suzumiya. Then we have another franchise film with the Erika 7 movie, which is sort of a spin-off alternate universe. I don't know, it's a bit of a weird one, that one. And we have The Garden of Words, also from Sentai, the Australian releases of Ghost in the Shell and the sequel Innocence, and then Giovanni's Island, the UK releases of The Girl Who Leapt Through Time, Metropolis, Origin, and then the Australian release of Paprika, the old Blu-ray release of Perfect Blue from the UK, although I am hoping to get their newer re-release, Tokyo Godfather, so 3 of Satoshi Kon's films on Blu-ray, then the Sailor Moon R film, Summer Wars, Tekkon Kincrete, and the first 2 This Boy OVAs with This Boy Can Fight Aliens and This Boy Caught a Merman. So that was everything for my anime collection as of the end of 2018. I can't believe how successful I was in making this a short video, because long-time watchers know that I tend to ramble on and on and on, sort of like what I'm doing right now. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this. All of these shows that I have in my collection, aside from the things I haven't watched yet, obviously, are ones that I really, really love. I am quite picky when it comes to collecting nowadays. I only buy things that I know I'll rewatch, ones that are really, really special to me and that I absolutely love. There are the odd things here and there that are sort of middling, but I have been very focused on trying to get my collection into sort of my favorite things only, if that makes sense. I don't know if that makes sense. But yes, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll catch you in the next video, and tomorrow I will be posting another video sort of similar to this one for manga, so if you are interested in that, maybe stay tuned. And as I said, I have a whole bunch of other videos, a lot of pickups over the last 3 years. I do other really long collection videos compared to this one, so if you are wanting sort of a more in-depth look at some of these things, although the collection isn't really, it changes a lot between videos, not a huge amount, but even like from this one, since my previous one, which was in halfway through the year, there's been quite a few changes, so maybe it's better to just watch this one. I don't know. But yes, if you enjoyed, I hope you can leave a comment or a like, or maybe even subscribe if you're that interested. But I'll catch you in the next video, guys. Bye till then.